Hello everyone, technology, am I right? Thank you participants for all of your questions. I've been taking a look at the questions that have been coming in and we're very excited to have all of our lovely mentors answer your questions. All right, so let's take it from the top. Sophia, what is your name? And tell us one thing that excites you about your work.
So my name is Sophia and I work for Scotiabank, and I get to help everyday people be their financial best. What I love about working for the bank is you can be anything you want to be at the bank. I got to work in technology, in data management, in global cash management. So financial services or working for a bank, you can be anything you want to be, and that's what I love about it.
Perfect, awesome, thank you so much. Anna, what about you?
Hi, so I'm Anna. I'm a professor at UBC. What really excites me about my job is that I get to work with some really cool, creative, smart people in the lab. We get to think of crazy scientific ideas and think about how to make new RNA vaccines and therapies.
Thank you so much. Agnes, your turn.
Whose turn was it, sorry?
Agnes.
We couldn't hear you.
It's your turn.
Well, my turn. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. Hi, everybody. I'm Agnes, and I work for a big multinational software company. And what I love about my job is that I can help create a workplace for my colleagues where they can be very innovative and come up with lots of great new ideas, and they can also continue learning all the time.
Perfect. Thank you. And last but not least, Paige.
So my name is Paige. I'm the founder and CEO of Nyoka Design Labs. And what I love most about my job is I'm never bored. There's always something different to do every day. And you're in a business, you work across every different field, whether it's business or art or marketing, and definitely the science and technology at the root of it all. So that's what I love most about my job.
Thank you so much. Now that we know a little bit about you, let's get started with some questions that we have from our participants. So one participant wants to know, when and how did you end up with your jobs? Did anything or anyone inspire you? Paige, let's start off with you.
Thank you. I always say I'm kind of an activist first, and then everything else follows. So when I was younger, especially my grandpa, who was an environmental activist, and he helped get kind of lawn, weed killer banned in Saskatchewan. And I just thought that was so amazing that one person could make that kind of difference to our environment. And so that's who inspired me to get into the field of sustainability and really get inspired about how we could reduce all the pollution that we are creating in our planet.
Perfect, thank you. Anna, what about you?
Yeah, so I guess I've had a number of inspirational people along the way and mentors for sure that helped me out. But I guess one that really sticks out was my undergrad mentor. So I worked in the same lab, research lab, when I was an undergrad, and my mentor just cared so much, and she was always happy to answer questions no matter what it was about, and was always there to encourage me. And so I wouldn't be here without her for sure.
Thanks so much. We'll go to a couple of other questions that some of the participants have and keep them coming. Your questions are awesome. All right, Sophia, I kind of wanted to know a little bit, how did you get to the role that you have, and do you have anything that's tricky or difficult or something hard about your job?
So actually, I started off in technology, and I was in aerospace. So I went from one industry to another. When I came to Scotiabank, what intrigued me about being here is that I was able to do a number of different roles. But even as someone that started off with more of a technology background, we got to develop our leadership skills. And because I had the opportunity to develop those leadership skills, I got to move around in the bank, and I got to apply all the things that I learned along the way. And now I get to run Scotiabank for Vancouver Island. So all the branches that you see on Vancouver Island, they all report up through to me. So I have a wonderful team of almost 300, and we get to help everyday people build on their financial dreams.
Thank you. What about you, Agnes? I'd love to hear about how you got to your role and some difficulties or some challenges that you may find.
Well, for me, things evolved along the way. I'm not sure if I had a very specific career path. I was quite curious, and whenever the right opportunity came up, I decided always to take it. I had done some shifts in my career over time as well, which is also something I would highly encourage for everybody listening in, is to be curious. And, sometimes you might get interested in something different, and, lots of challenges for sure. One what I could name was that, I'm an immigrant to Canada. So when I first came, some of the challenges were that I didn't have experience in Canada, work experience. So I was just very persistent. I did a lot of volunteer work. And that then helped me get my first job here in Canada. But yeah, just be open-minded, and when opportunities come up, think about them, see if it's the right one for you. And if it is, sometimes it takes a bit of risk to make it work. But that's what I would recommend, is just to be open to to opportunities that might come your way in your career.
Thank you so much. That's great advice for all of our participants here today. A question for all the participants or a question for all the mentors that a participant had that I thought it was a really great question. So what does science look like in your day-to-day work? And I know in kind of all of you guys are in such diverse roles. So science and technology and different aspects of STEAM, I'm sure, appear in various different ways. So Anna, I know you actually work at the Michael Smith Labs in the School of Biomedical Engineering at UBC. But I'd love to hear maybe if you have kind of an unconventional way that you use science in your day-to-day life or in your day-to-day work, or how science shows up.
Yeah, so I guess it's probably more the stereotypical science, right? So I have a lab that's filled with students who are doing experiments with glassware and culturing cells and making RNA and testing different things. So it's actually probably more of a stereotypical science way. I guess the unconventional way that I use science is I have a TikTok channel that's devoted to, educating people about vaccines. So I guess that's kind of mixing my passion for science communication and what I actually do to really spread vaccine literacy.
Thank you so much. Sophia, I wouldn't really associate Scotiabank, which is the bank that I go to get my money out, with science or technology. But how would you say that you incorporate, or technology or science is incorporated into kind of work that you do?
Well, I'll just throw out an earlier example. When I was little, I used to go to the store with a $1 bill or a $2 bill, and used to buy the bread for my mom. But today we go to the store with a convenience card, and then we get to tap and buy things. And so that's all technology in the background that we got to build and create. So in financial services, we really do lean in on all the various technologies so that we can serve our customers. In my day-to-day, I get to deal with a number of customers and understand what they're going through, and we use the data analytics to say, okay, this is how we can best serve you. And that's what I get to do every day, and that's what my team gets to do as well. But we also get to pay bills and take care of all the everyday things that we do as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we'll actually, for time, I want to try to get to as many questions as we can from our participants. So I'm going to throw another question to Agnes and Paige. So I know, Agnes, you talked a little bit about challenges that you had when you were kind of as an immigrant to Canada, but one of the participants was wondering if you ever felt like giving up or you couldn't do it, or, that you may not be good enough, and what kept you going and what made you persevere through those challenges.
Definitely. That feeling of not being good enough is something that I think many of us certainly experiences quite often. And what helped me is a couple of things. One is to just keep looking at my accomplishments that I've already done. So whenever I feel that I doubt myself, can I do it? It's a big new job and it's scary and you feel like, oh, there's no way that I can. But then you look back at your career and you see, well, there's all these other things I could do that were similar scenarios. So that certainly was one. The other also that helped me a lot was just having the right mentors, having the right coaches around me, the right people who can, at times when I needed a bit of positive talk and a bit of convincing that, no, I've got this, that I could turn to those people and they really helped me get through these difficult times.
Thank you. And Paige, same question to you.
Yeah, thank you. That's such a good one. It's something I've personally struggled with, and I don't know if it ever completely goes away. I say there's kind of cycles where you take on something new, and that's probably when the doubt and negative self-talk will come up. And that's where, like Agnes said, it's so wonderful to be surrounded by people who will be a positive influence and also who have different skill sets than you. So then if there is something you need to learn, you know exactly who to go to like get the best information possible and make the best decisions. And something that's been really helpful, moving forward is just believing in yourself and kind of that earned sense of confidence. As like over time, you learn something every day. If you're building your skills in a direction, then there's no way that you can let that negative self-talk like actually win. So it's really been kind of practicing mindfulness, making a list of things you're good at, and just keep going. And then you probably will get a confidence-filled day. Like next week.
Very fair. Thank you so much. So here we are, of course, in Girls in STEAM, and all of our participants here are kind of looking up towards all of the mentors that we have to, as role models and going into their field. So Agnes, I wanted to know, one of the participants was wondering, so as a mentor, how do you create opportunities in your role or in different capacities that you have for girls in STEAM or girls who are interested in going into a similar field of work that you are in?
So if it's somebody that's quite early in their career, I see my role as a mentor to just help them see the possibilities, connect them to people in my company or in other organizations. We actually ran a really interesting program at SAP before called Girl Smarts, where we would bring in girls that are early, in their journey of picking a career to see what are the options for careers in technology, because quite often people may not see the amazing possibilities. Even if you are very artsy, you can still do lots of great things in technology, for example. I see my role as a mentor as somebody who asks the right questions and help that person see what's really possible.
Thank you so much. Anna, same question to you.
Yeah, so I guess for me, it's very similar. So, kind of speaking on my experience earlier, when I had a really great mentor, I know that was just so invaluable to my career at the time. And so I'm always kind of looking for people, or I guess looking for ways to give people those same opportunities, whether it's working in the lab or encouraging them to go to grad school or take an internship or something like that. But I think it's really actually kind of similar to what Agnes said, but it's connecting people with the opportunities that will help their career, because so many people did that for me. So I tried to pay it forward.
That's awesome. And it's great to hear that all of you are supporting Girls in STEAM. Sophia, what advice would you give someone wanting to explore your field a little bit more?
Ask questions. I have this thing, look to your left, look to your right, and always look to lift each other up and ask those questions. To come into banking is a great opportunity for many to be able to take everyday life things and build it to something more than what it actually is. You know, I guess there's a lot of good things that you could do, and with science in the background, those questions and your curiosity gives you the opportunity to help others also be their personal best.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Paige, a couple people were actually wondering a little bit about why you decided to start your company and how you get people impacted on the issue of glow sticks. So how do you really engage people in your community?
Thank you. It's been really fun. I think that's something I value a lot, in life and in work, is you got to bring kind of fun into it. And so when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for my career, I know I wanted to have impact, but I also know I wanted to have a good time doing it and connect with, people and communities that maybe don't necessarily spend a lot of time, and hold up in a lab necessarily, doing some scientific work. And so I love how kind of all of my worlds combine doing what I do. And so deciding to start a company, I was really helped out by the Innovation Center at the university I was part of. If you are part of a university, often they'll have tons of resources for young students, no matter what you're interested in studying, to help you kind of give an entrepreneurial kind of focus to that. And so that was really helpful. And then in terms of how I reach out, doing events like this is always fun, and I can't wait till COVID is over and I can start doing more in-person events. I've handed out missions at festivals and at libraries and at science events, and often it's all about being curious, connecting with other people, learning from people who are different than you. And I'll hand out actually some of the glow sticks that we've been developing. So here's one I have right now. You can kind of see it's glowing. It's pretty bright in my room, but it's just something that's bright, and I just hope people kind of light up when they see it, and that's the intention with the work that we're doing.
Thank you, Paige. I love how you said how people light up when they see the glow sticks. I think that was a great play on words there. So we have time for one last question that I would like to ask all of the mentors. And this participant began with, "You are all so cool." They began their question with that. So just a validation, and this is coming from me too. You guys are all so cool. So what would you tell your past self now about what you're doing, or maybe kind of looking back into your past? What would you tell your past self? So Agnes, I'd like to start off with you.
Mine would be to just stay always curious and never stop learning.
That is a very succinct and nice piece of advice. Anna.
I would tell myself that I guess if you feel afraid to do something, it's actually a good sign. It means you're pushing and challenging yourself, and so you should try to do that as frequently as possible.
Thank you so much. Sophia.
You're on mute, Sophia.
Oh my. Yeah, okay, so trust the journey. Trust every step of the way in the journey. There's so much to learn. And always look around to make sure that you take others with you and bring them up with you, because you're stronger together when you have people that you bring up along with you.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, Paige.
I think I would tell myself, that anxiety is normal and it can teach you a lot, but to always believe in yourself and never let those kind of more negative voices be what you listen to, because you can prove them wrong every single day, and then your life moves in the direction that you've chosen. So that's what I tell myself.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time, mentors. It was really, really great hearing and learning from you. As you can see, well, I'm not sure if you can see this, but we had so many questions come in, and all of the participants, I'm sure, learned a lot from your experiences. And again, if you would like to watch those videos of any of the mentor sessions again, they are available on this site and on the Science World YouTube.